Well, hello. Good to be with y'all again. Hair's growing longer. I hate being locked up in homes. I wish the weather was better, but that's a whole nother thing. So, we are now looking at week 2 of this World War I unit that we're doing here at Homes. And so I've got a couple things that I want you to do this week. And I think hopefully it's fairly clear out on Google Classroom as far as what's going on, but I wanted to kind of get through these first. But you're going to be looking at 3 different things that, one that gets covered a lot in world history. And so you kind of got to know this, at least in my mind. And then 2 others, and one that doesn't get the due I think it needs to. I'm kind of doubting that most World War I teachers cover it very much, and it's the one thing that leads on to today, and I think it's really a shame. So I'll talk about that here in a sec. And then the other one is something really horrible that happened that for the most part people have forgotten about, because it gets overshadowed by something that happens that's worse later on. So, all right, well, to get going here, first thing you're going to be looking at is the Battle of the Somme. This was a horrific battle that actually happened not too far away from where my French daughter lives, in France. But the Somme was this horrific battle where they sent men into the battle over and over and over again using old tactics and forgetting about the fact that machine guns can do a lot of damage. And, I'm just, the teaser that I can tell you is, imagine if we took every single kid in this school, everybody from West Valley, 800 kids, and we took them and we put them outside and we mowed them down with machine guns. And then a half hour later, we take an equal number of kids, put them out there, and mow them all down and kill them. And then another next half hour, you do it again, and again, and again, for 34 days. If you killed 800 people every half hour, that's the number of people that were killed and lost in the Battle of the Somme. And neither side got the hint. So you're going to be doing a reading on that, and I kind of want to give you a little bit of a warning. It's on a new site that I'm going to be using, and so you better get used to it, called activelylearning.com. And so you'll go right to the website and you'll be doing the reading, and it's going to give some questions as you go through. But you're going to have to sign into the site. Fairly simple. Even the juniors were able to do this because I've already tried it with them, and they've all made it. And that's a pretty dumb class. And so if you guys, you're smarter than they are, so a lot more hope with you. So if you guys could, if they can do it, you could do it. But you sign into this Actively Learn thing. It'll take you right to this reading about the Battle of the Somme. You literally answer those questions, and it pops it right into Google Classroom for me to grade. Pretty slick little thing. If you have any problems, you can redo, and I can actually give you permission to answer it better if you want. So it's kind of a neat little thing. We'll be using that for 2 different activities today, this week. Okay, so enough about that. Next thing is a guy named Lawrence of Arabia. If you ever have, I think it's a 27-hour movie. Actually, no, it's a very long movie. It's about like 3 hours or so. It even has an intermission in the middle of it. But it's an absolute epic movie. But that's beside the point. But he was a real person, this Lawrence of Arabia guy. And he goes to the Middle East and he rallies the Arabs to fight against the Ottoman Empire, who, of course, were fighting with Germany and were in the Central Powers. And this story really resolves around a lie. And what ends up happening is a big, huge, giant lie that Lawrence of Arabia has to tell the Arabs to get them to do the fighting with him. And this really actually eats him up. There's a whole bunch of different things about what that did. There's some excellent books about him and whatever happened along those lines. But it's based around a lie. And but what happened there really affected something that happened or caused, in a lot of ways, something that happened a couple years before you were born. I think you may have heard about it. It was called 9/11, when all of a sudden some towers in the Pentagon were attacked and destroyed, and 3,000 Americans, well, 3,000 people ended up dying because of it. Well, that could be traced right back to what happened and this lie that Lawrence of Arabia had to tell, and what happened because of it. And I don't know, just one more thing about lying. Something we always need to keep in track in whenever we think about telling a lie is the fact that when we're lying to somebody, in a lot of ways, we're really just telling them, you're so stupid, you're going to fall for this. And that's what France and England did to the Arab people. So what you're going to do with that is you're going to watch this video, and then after you're done with that, you're going to take what I just told you and the stuff that you get from the video, and then you're going to answer a question on a Google document. I'll make sure this time that I actually allow you to make changes to the Google document. I really, really, really apologize for not doing that last time, but mistakes have been made. Okay, so I apologize for that. But then the last one you're looking at is the Armenian genocide. This is really the forgotten genocide that happened. And it was the first one of the 20th century. And the country that did it still denies it. They won't admit that this is what they did back during World War I. And it's an interesting thing. So you got two little things that you're going to do with this. The first one is you're going to go to Actively Learn Again, a site there, and you're going to watch a short video, and halfway through that it'll stop and it'll ask you a question. You got to answer it, and because it records it, what you did on it. And so you watch the video, answer the questions as they come up. And then after you're done with that, you're going to view a Prezi that I found on the net. And it talks about the Armenian genocide. And then when you're done with that, you've got a question on the same Google document that you've already opened up. And I want you to answer that and then put it in. So there you go. This week's hopefully pretty easy to follow and gives you about the right amount of work. These are important things to know, and I want you guys to keep that in mind as you go through this. All the information that we're giving you at home, it's not about a grade. It's about giving you knowledge that you're going to need to know. And so that's why you're doing the work. It's not for a grade. This is to give you knowledge to help you with the classes that are going to come along later on. So please, please, please do those. All right, that's enough of that. I've been babbling and almost preaching. So pitter patter, let's get at her. Do this thing. Sure miss you and love ya, and I hope all is going well in your world. And I can't wait until I get to see you again. Take care.